everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of Let's Talk Thursdays with Dr. Kela. And today I want to talk about something that I haven't addressed very much in the past, and that's women in male-dominated fields. Now, when we think of school teachers and nurses or hairdressers, we automatically assume that person is a woman. But when you think of construction workers, you probably get the image in your mind of some big burly man swinging a hammer or using uh, a pile driver or something. Well, today, my special guest turns those gender stereotypes on their head. Welcome, Amber Lawson, the principal of Aspire Construction and Design. Hi there, Amber.
Hello, Keela. How are you?
I am doing great, and I'm really excited to have you on Let's Talk Thursdays.
Let's get to it.
All right. So, you've heard people say to actors, "Oh, when did you get bitten by the acting bug?" Right? Well, I'm going to ask you, when were you bitten by the construction bug?
I wouldn't say that I was bitten. I would just say that the time in which I grew up, people did their own home repairs and your children were your assistants. So for my dad doing work around the house, changing out a light fixture, just doing general maintenance, I was his assistant. And, from that time forward, for me, tools, construction, none of that was foreign to me. It didn't feel like it wasn't a space that I belonged in. It was just something that you do because we all have to live somewhere. We all have to maintain the places that we live. But I will say, I did not think of it as a career.
Okay.
Um, for me, when I knew that it was going to be a career for me, I was 28 years old. And at that point, I had dropped out of three different colleges and I was just working, different jobs, but, was having fun exploring. And I started working for a general contractor that was a woman.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, that really just opened my mind, which goes to, really just what people say, what you're exposed to and what you see completely and 100% affects the trajectory of your life.
So, given that you went to work for a woman, was she your mentor, or did you have any mentors other than your dad? And was this lady you worked for a mentor for you?
She wasn't a mentor. She was an employer. I've not encountered mentors in this space. Um, it's a it's a pretty interesting space to operate in as a Black woman, but I will tell you that I have found people that have helped me along the way. I have come into situations where I've learned a lot of things. Um, and one of the reasons that my company has a nonprofit, Aspire for Hire, is to provide that mentorship that I did not have when I was trying to figure out what lane I wanted to be in construction, of which there are many lanes, right? And so that is extremely important. And, sometimes I wonder, where I would be at this moment if I had had a mentor, but I don't regret any step of the journey. And I'm happy to be where I am right now.
So, for people who may have an interest, what are the qualifications needed for your career? Like, what type of education? Are there certain certifications to get, experience, etc.? Can you elaborate on that?
Let me tell you, that's the beautiful thing about construction. Depending on which way you want to go, education wise, experience wise, apprenticeship wise, there is a lane for you. You can get certifications and be a safety supervisor on a construction project, enforcing OSHA standards, proper lifting techniques, proper loading and unloading, and all the different things that have to happen on a job site. So, that particular lane, that's going to be certifications, right? There is the entire professional lane in construction where you're going to have estimators, project managers, superintendents, where college is going to be your route. That's the route that I took. There are several schools that offer undergrad and graduate degrees in construction and construction management. And then there's the other lane of, hey, boots on the ground. I just want to start working. There are apprenticeships and experience where you can gain experience because the beautiful thing about construction is you know how to do it or you don't. So that is why, for me, construction just offers you the widest lanes of where you want to be. And then just outside of those three different modes, right? Certifications, boots on the ground training, or college education, the lanes, there's construction finance, there's the legal aspect, there's brokerage, there's sales, there's property management, there's construction, there's development, there's architecture, there's engineering, there's safety. There's just so many lanes that, listen, you can find something there. And every single profession in the construction industry pays well above living wages.
Now, tell me, which aspect of your career do you like best? Is it the demolition, tearing things down? Is it the project management, the actual construction, engineering, or the design part of it?
So for me, it's not about one particular part, it's about the process. It is about we start with an idea in our head and we are able to take that idea from just a thought to something in real life that is useful. So every step in the process is ignites me. So when a client first comes to me, I work with small business owners. So when a client comes to me, sometimes they know what they want to do and sometimes they don't. So really helping clients ideate their ideas, put them on paper, do the drawings, bring the vision to life, right? And
Mhm.
then, putting it on paper, making a plan, and then executing. And then at the end of the day, there's a building that is standing, that someone is living in, that someone is operating their business in. And I can point to that and say, I built that. I designed that.
So the finished product where you get to see your baby that's been born in a sense. Now to a different topic that is in the headlines. Have the tariffs affected your business? And if so, how?
Well, a big part of what we do is buy things. We buy lumber, we buy copper, we buy piping, drywall, sinks, toilets, faucets, anything you can think of that goes into a building we're purchasing. So for construction, tariffs were, quite a shakeup to the industry, right? Particularly around the uncertainty out of the tariffs on China, because we get almost 60% of our building products from China.
Wow.
Okay.
Significant.
Um, Also, the tariffs that were put on Canada. We get a big bulk of our timber that we build with from Canada. We've definitely had to take some steps business wise to make sure that we're prepared for any kind of uncertainty or turmoil in the market based on what these tariffs are going to do to the goods coming into the country.
Now, other than tracking the indices, what else are you doing to solve this problem?
So one of the things that we did for one of our projects, because we knew things might be moving and we weren't sure, and we wanted to lock in pricing for a particular project, we went ahead and built into our budget a offsite storage, and we started pre-purchasing things much sooner
Okay.
than we would normally purchase it. So that's one of the things we did. On the backside of that, to really protect the company, we had to add a clause into our contracts that if material prices increase by a certain amount, the client is going to have to bring additional funds to the project. So those are
Mercy.
the things, those are the steps we've taken to, help our clients, one, protect their costs, and then also to protect the company.
Well, Amber, it sounds like you are doing what you can to offer the absolute best service to your clients. So we're going to stop right here, and then we will be back next week for part two of this interview.